Okay, guys and gals, what we have here is a plasma cutter. It's a 58 amp plasma cutter by Lotus. The model number on this is the LTP5800D Delta. It's a new model out by Lotus. Lotus is it's a U.S. based company that has their equipment built overseas. I guess for the sake of the conversation, we can call it a Chinese plasma cutter, and they make Chinese welders also. But they are designed in-house, and they're built to the specifications and standards of Lotus. This machine's $339. It's a 58 amp, which is quite respectable. I have an old ESAB PowerCut 650. It's 45 amp, I believe. So this is rated to clean cut up to 5/8 and to sever up to 3/4. It does have a air dryer on the back. You do have to supply your own air to the plasma machine. I know some plasma machines I've seen have a internal compressor that supplies the air for it. This relies on shop air. Let's see. This it's limited to 35 amps on 110 volts. So it's an auto sensing 110 or 220 volt. So it's 35 amps on 110 volt or 58 amps on 220. Cut limitation on 110 volts by what they recommend is 3/8 maximum severance. And again, or maximum cut, sorry, on 220, 5/8 is their maximum cut. Again, on 220 up to 3/4 severance, which is a rough cut chew through. You can fight your way through it. It's a high frequency machine, so it's not designed to be used in a CNC situation. Typically, you don't want high frequency for that. I'm about to sneeze. So this has been out for a while. I have a Lotus welder also that's brand new to the market. This has been out for a while. I said it's new. It's one of their newer products, but it has been on Amazon for a while, and it has received real good feedback on Amazon. So it has over 2,500 reviews on Amazon with a 4.5 star average. So people are buying the Lotus plasma cutter, and they're enjoying it, and they're getting good service from it, or it wouldn't be getting reviewed that well. One of the things nice about this compared to my 20-year-old ESAB is that now this is a pilot start, so you never touch the part to start the arc. The arc jumps to the part, but it also has the standoff collar. I'll show it to you right here. So you have the standoff collar right there, and what that does is when you put this down on your part, the tip never touches the part. My finger's too funky there, but it allows you a small air gap between the tip and the part, and you can see I've already been playing with this some. We're going to turn it on here in a bit. It has a good earth clamp in that some of your cheaper equipment, the earth clamp will have possibly not copper jaws. They will possibly not do the copper strap to tie them together. And the importance of this, in case you don't know, if you don't have this and you have a better connection on this side and you don't have the strap tying these two together, right? So you're coming off of your earth clamp right, or earth cable right here, and your bolt ties into this jaw ties into this jaw. So if you get onto your part and you have a bad surface on here, a good one on here, what it's going to do, it's going to try to use this pivot pin to transfer the power over, and it will eventually burn this out. So having that's a desirable thing, and this does have that, okay? So I actually did this video earlier, and I had a problem with my audio wasn't being picked up for whatever reason. And I did some various cutting. I cut some thick stuff. I'll show you that right there. So this is pretty thick metal right there. I free-handed just, you know, playing around, doing some cutting, some freehanding, doing some stuff there. Let me hook the air up real quick, and I'll make a couple more cuts for you just so you can see it running. But I guess the point of this is, for $330, it's a hell of a machine with a lot of power. You know, at the 58 amps max. Get on there. There we go. Turn the air on. 58 amps max. That gives you the ability to cut pretty much thicker than most home users would ever want or need to cut. Okay, so now when you're doing plasma, I'm not a fan of freehanding my stuff, just because it makes for a lot more cleanup work when you're freehanding. I like to take a guide, and that's why I keep a piece of scrap steel or something around to guide yourself. But we'll come over to the machine. Okay, so there's your display. And let me see, can you see the air? Moving down the hair a bit more. Okay. So they do give you a chart on the top, but you have 3 buttons here. And so this one here, you see the buttons right under there, and this is cut and air test. So if I push this, it does an air test. So what it does is showing you the pressure while I'm flowing, as if I'm cutting. And it has these 3 marks here. Now watch, if I pull the lock out on here and I turn the air pressure down, you'll see this is going to move to your left there. So it's saying, hey, that's low, that your pressure's too low. And if you go turn it back up, it goes into mid. And if I keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, now we went into high. So they're saying you're, you know, higher than typical. So put it somewhere in the middle. Now that changes. Lock that in by doing that. So we'll turn that off for a second. Now we're going to come down to, I don't know, 30 amps. Okay, so we'll come down to 30. I'm going to go back to test mode. Okay, and that's still an acceptable pressure for us. Where does it go too high? 68. So we're like 55. Turn off test. Whoop, hit it twice. You have a 2T and 4T right here. So if you hit 4T, you squeeze the trigger, let go, and it's cutting. Squeeze the trigger, let go, and it quits. 2T, squeeze the trigger, it's cutting. Let go of the trigger, it quits. This is your post flow, and this is your pilot start. What that does is, if you go into here, you can adjust how long it's doing the pilot burn, meaning it's dumping like maximum amps out to try to get the hole punched in the part, right? So the upper one is how long you want it to flow after you've squeezed the trigger. So if I hit that and I turn it to 6, let me grab the torch. I'll just tap the button. 1, up, hold on. Maybe I'm wrong on which one's which. Okay, that one, I'm sorry. The PT is how long after. So now it's on 10. So now 1, 2, no. Oh, you know what it's doing? It knows it's not arcing, so it's just shutting itself off. So it has a protection circuit in there, so it's not just dumping your air. Okay, so there's that. So the minimum you can go is post flow is 6 seconds to prevent you from burning out. So anyways, we got that set up. Let me go ahead and change the camera again. And we'll go back to there, and we'll come over here. Okay, so there, what do we got here? So now what we're going to do is we'll throw the mask on. Throw the Arc Captain gloves on. They're just thin TIG gloves, but they're enough for plasma. Plasma is not a real hot process. And I guess I'll freehand first, right? We'll just totally freehand it. Give it a cut. Now, when you're plasmaing, if you're not used to plasma, when you get started, you want to point into your cut a little bit because naturally the arc's going to be trying to be scooped away by the metal as it's doing the cut. So you want to kind of do a little bit of a lean in. I'm going to set my guide right there. Now, again, when you're sitting down on here, you've got about an 1/8 inch or so gap on that. So I'm going to go ahead, give it a little bit of lean in, pull as smooth and steady as I can, cut that part, right? If you want to get something that looks more like a machine type cut, you take your guide and you basically set your head against that guide. And what that'll do, I'll show you, it gives you a, so this is what you're looking at right there. That's me freehanding it versus what you're looking at there is with a guide. You get a lot straighter of a cut when you run a guide on there. So if you want to cut heavier material, ouch. This is about twice the thickness of metal. I'm going to use the guide and pop the guard out of the way of my trigger finger. Hold that and did I get through up? I might not have made it through in the beginning. I didn't. My start point was bad, so I screwed myself up there. All right, so there's my cut. And you'll be able to see where I screwed up the start point over here. But overall, nice cut. You can see that. Now, if you want to go thick, I go back to this piece here that I showed you. So I'm going to come over here. We'll go ahead and run our amperage up. 58. We'll keep the air pressure where it is. All right, and maybe I'll go up a little bit more. I'll go up 60. Okay. Turn off the air test. And I'm just going to take this rusty piece of steel and I'll just cut another corner off just so you can see that. And there you go. That's the cut that we got right there. Just, freehand as you saw, not doing anything fancy. Had no problem cutting that, moved pretty quick. So yeah, the Lotos LTP5800 Delta, $339, I believe, is what they're selling it for right now on Amazon. I'll put links on the description, but that's quite the machine with quite a lot of power. You think about that. That's 58 amps of cutting power. I mean, I didn't challenge it at all here. I don't even have anything thick enough here to challenge it at the 3/4 severance. I just don't have anything that thick. A lot of what I have is 3/16 1/4 inch. It tends to be a average of what I work with. Real nice. This Lotos is a higher end brand of Chinese sourced stuff. Lotos also has US based customer service, like customer support. So they have lifetime US based customer support. They have 30-day, pretty much no questions asked return policy. They have a 1-year equipment swap warranty, and the total warranty on the part with registration is 3 years. Now, with the 3-year warranty, once you get past that 1-year equipment swap, you do have to pay shipping both ways, from what I've read on their website. So you would pack this thing up and you would ship it out to their service place. You would pay that $30 or whatever, and then when they shipped it back, supposedly they would charge you again for the shipping back. Whether they do or not, I don't know. But having US-based lifetime tech support help is really a nice thing. This standoff style torch is really nice because it helps save your consumables when you're out there plasma cutting by yourself, or like I am with my older machine there. Sometimes invariably you're going to screw up and you're going to touch down on the part and you're going to burn your nozzle, and they're not cheap by any means. I mean, typically when I call my welding shop and I order stuff for that, I'll order, $75 or $100 worth of consumables, because I tend to go through them, because it happens, right? This is really cool because on a lot of parts you're going to be able to just get down on it with that and protect your consumables and get a hell of a lot more runtime out of the torch without spending money. Speed compared to cutting with oxyacetylene or a cutoff wheel, this is fast and convenient. It is really nice. So do me a favor, check out Lotus. They make a bunch of machines. They have higher end machines also. Really high quality China sourced stuff. Good stuff. So check them out. And do me a favor, like and subscribe. I like, if you subscribe to my video or my channel, you'll see videos as I put them out. And if you hit like, that helps move you up in the algorithms and lets more people see my videos, which I appreciate greatly. Just hitting the simple thing of hitting that like button, hitting that thumbs up. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.